Have you ever wondered why the world's most famous movie place is not in New York, not in London, but in Los Angeles? How did a small district called Hollywood become the face of global entertainment? And how did it turn into a place that still shapes what the whole world watches today? Let's find out in today's video. Long before Hollywood became famous, the area was very different. It was once rural land with fields, farms, and open space, far from the crowded city we know today. Hollywood began as a real estate subdivision in 1887 and later developed into a district of Los Angeles. It was not originally created for movies at all. Rather, it was created for farming and agricultural activities. The goal was to grow food to feed the soldiers living at nearby military forts and coastal missions. At that time, Los Angeles was still growing, and land in the area was cheaper and more open than in many older American cities. That mattered later because film production needs space. And so the filmmakers started to come to Los Angeles due to cheap land and labor costs. In the early 1900s, most American film production was centered on the East Coast, but many filmmakers started moving west. One big reason was legal trouble and control from the Thomas Edison patent system, which made filmmaking difficult for some companies. Another reason was practical. Southern California had strong sunlight, good weather, and lots of open land. That meant filmmakers could shoot outside almost all year without waiting for bad weather to pass. The area around Hollywood was especially attractive because it had mountains, beaches, farms, and city streets all within a short distance. This gave filmmakers many different kinds of scenery in one place. On the other hand, Los Angeles was also growing fast, which meant there was room for business expansion, workers, and new infrastructure. Land, weather, good scenery, and cheap production costs, everything prompted that Los Angeles was the perfect place for Hollywood and show business in general. Hollywood started becoming known as a filming location in the early 1900s. As more productions were shot there, the area gained a reputation as a place where movies could be made efficiently and creatively. Even though Hollywood itself was originally a neighborhood and not a giant movie city, the name slowly became linked with the whole film industry. Once studios and filmmakers started settling there, the area began turning into the center of American film production. As Hollywood grew, large studios like Paramount, MGM, Warner Brothers, 20th Century Fox, and RKO became powerful names in the industry. They controlled production, distribution, and the stars themselves. This was known as the studio system. Actors often signed long contracts and worked mainly for one studio, which helped studios build strong identities and loyal audiences. In the silent film era, movies were already becoming popular, but the arrival of sound changed everything. Talkies created a huge public boom because audiences now heard voices, music, and dialogue on screen. By the 1930s, Hollywood entered what many people call its golden age. Movies became larger, more polished, and more glamorous than ever before. This was the era of big stars, big studios, and big dreams. Hollywood became not just a production place, but a symbol of fame itself. They started associating Hollywood with success, beauty, excitement, and dreams. The Hollywood sign, originally built in 1923 as Hollywoodland, became one of the strongest symbols of the entertainment world. Even the name Hollywood began to stand for the entire American movie industry. Hollywood movies traveled well across borders because they had universal appeal. Action, romance, comedy, adventure, and drama could be understood by audiences in many countries. Hollywood also had stronger production budgets, technical quality, and distribution networks than many other film industries. That helped its movies reach theaters around the world. As transportation and international business grew, Hollywood films became easier to export. One of the most important moments in Hollywood history came in 1948, when the Supreme Court decision stopped studios from owning their own theaters and controlling the full chain of production and exhibition. This weakened the old studio system as major studios now lost the distribution networks and no longer had monopoly on how the theater halls worked. This was a major turning point. Hollywood lost some of its old power structure, but it also became more open and competitive. After the Golden Age, Hollywood was going through a big change. The 1960s and 70s were not just about pretty stars and glamorous studios anymore. In the 1960s, moviegoers were changing. Television had entered homes everywhere. so Hollywood had to give people a reason to leave their couches and go to theaters. That meant bigger stories, stronger visuals, and more unforgettable experiences. Filmmakers experimented with style, music, editing, and storytelling. Movies like To Kill a Mockingbird, The Sound of Music, 2001, A Space Odyssey became big hits in the 1960s, as they were content-driven and gave the audiences a reason to experience movies in theaters instead of television. By the 1970s, Hollywood entered one of its most important phases. This was the decade when the blockbuster idea truly started to take shape. One of the biggest turning points was Jaws in 1975. It was not just a hit movie. It changed the business of Hollywood. It showed that a movie could become a nationwide event through smart marketing and wide release. People were scared to go into the water because the film created a shared cultural moment. That is the power Hollywood learned to use. Make a movie so big that everyone talks about it. Then came Star Wars in 1977, and this was a game changer for the entire world. It mixed space adventure, fantasy, special effects, music, and simple heroic storytelling into one unforgettable experience. People of all ages loved it because it felt exciting, magical, and easy to follow. Star Wars proved that Hollywood could build not just a movie, but a universe. After the success of the blockbuster era, Hollywood entered another major transformation. In the 1980s and 90s, technology began changing the way movies were made. This is where special effects and later CGI became extremely important. At first, movies still relied heavily on practical effects. But over time, digital tools became stronger, and filmmakers started using computers to create more realistic and exciting worlds. This made Hollywood even more powerful because it could now show almost anything the human mind could imagine. The success of Star Wars pushed the industry to invest more in effects, sound, and world building. Later films continued this trend. E.T., the Extraterrestrial in 1982, became a huge emotional success because it mixed heart with special effects. Back to the Future in 1985 became a favorite because it combined time travel, humor, and imagination in a way that felt fun and easy to enjoy. These films showed that big ideas could still feel personal and warm. The real shift happened when CGI became more advanced. A major landmark was Terminator 2: Judgment Day in 1991. It stunned audiences with its groundbreaking visual effects, especially the liquid metal T-1000. People watched it and felt that the future of movies had arrived. Then came Jurassic Park in 1993. This film changed everything again. It made dinosaurs look alive in a way audiences had never seen before. The combination of CGI and practical effects created a level of realism that felt almost unbelievable. For many viewers, this was the moment when Hollywood proved it could bring extinct creatures back to life on screen. Later in the 1990s, films like Toy Story in 1995 showed that even animated movies could become a huge global force through computer technology. After the year 2000, Hollywood entered a new age. This was the era of giant franchises, superhero films, advanced visual effects, and movies made for the whole world at once. It started building huge movie universes, bringing comic book heroes to life, and creating films that looked impossible a few years earlier. Batman Begins in 2005 gave Batman a darker and more serious reboot. Then Iron Man in 2008 changed everything by launching what became the Marvel Cinematic Universe. After that came the Avengers in 2012, where many heroes came together in one giant crossover film. These films worked because they gave audiences action, fantasy, humor, emotion, and scale all in one package. Fans did not just watch one movie, they followed a connected world across many films. That created loyalty, excitement, and repeat viewing. Hollywood had found a new way to keep audiences hooked for years. Superhero films became popular because they offered escape. In a stressful world, people wanted to see heroes rise, villains fall, and impossible battles unfold on massive screens. At the same time, Hollywood was not only making action films, it was also producing smart, content-driven movies with major stars who could draw huge attention. Actors like Leonardo DiCaprio became known for choosing films that combined strong acting with interesting ideas and powerful visuals. A great example is Inception in 2010. It was not a simple movie. It was a mind-bending film about dreams, reality, and the human mind. But it still became a huge hit because Hollywood knows how to turn complex ideas into large-scale entertainment. DiCaprio helped make the film feel serious, stylish, and exciting at the same time. This is one of Hollywood's biggest strengths. It can make films that are both intelligent and entertaining. It can give audiences something to think about while still giving them a huge visual experience. What started off as a farming land for the military is now the world's biggest film industry. Every artist who's passionate about filmmaking has dream of working in Hollywood and making it big in life. Even though global cinema and independent filmmakers are growing rapidly, Hollywood still matters because it is more than a place. It is a global content machine, a marketing symbol, and a standard for large-scale entertainment. Its movies are watched by people in different languages and cultures because the stories are built to travel. Hollywood also keeps evolving with new technology, new platforms, and changing audience habits. That is why, even today, when people think of film, fame, and entertainment, Hollywood is still the first name that comes to mind. And that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to like and share, and subscribe our channel for more such interesting videos. Goodbye.